What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and um, I want to talk about the progress um, between the negotiations of what we have as of now concerning Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. We have a lot of things that developed, a lot of back and forth. Anthony Joshua is actually in Los Angeles right now. So we don't know why he's here. Maybe it's just vacation. Maybe it's business. Maybe it's to discuss the Wilder fight. We don't know. But Anthony Joshua, he has made comments that he wants the Wilder fight. That's his desire to want the Wilder fight. To play devil's advocate, you hear people, and on both sides, I've did a video similar to this, but not up to this particular point in time. Um, it was about the money at first. Now it's not about the money. Now it's about the venue more importantly than the money. You know. Um, then on both sides actually. You know what I mean? It's like people say Anthony Joshua doesn't want to fight in America. Eddie Hearn say it's better to fight in America. So Deontay Wilder wants, or his negotiators, his handlers, offered $50 million for no contract, and they picked the venue, meaning it's going to be somewhere in the States, in America. So but then it's like, okay, well, if 50 million, like what's the problem with these two guys talking about venue? I mean, let's look at it another way. Deontay Wilder, if you have $50 million, okay, you got the $50 million from your handlers, and hey, let's have this fight. Why does it have to be a deal breaker for the venue? You know what I mean? Why does it have to be in Vegas? Regardless of where it benefits what for money. That's not the issue with us as the fight fans. Us as the fight fans, you ask yourself, what difference does it make where it's at? You ask both fighters that. You ask Joshua, and Joshua's reasoning is for, well, the fan base, and I did most of the fights here. I've got all the belts over there. You know what I mean? And that makes sense to a certain degree. But then you ask Wilder, it's like, well, Wilder, why wouldn't you want to fight over there? Would that necessarily be a deal breaker? You know what I mean? And no one's really getting to those answers, because it's like, okay, the $50 million is there. Okay, well, if does it have to be in America? If it's not in America, but you have the $50 million, so you mean, okay, you're going to discard the deal because of that? Think about this. Because all it does is it adding more confusion and more excuses. Because see, then Joshua fans can say, oh, well, he's just scared to come to the UK. You know what I'm saying? Or, well, why does he need to necessarily fight in America? Why does he have to fight there? You know what I mean? Then people say, well, then the Wilder fans like, why don't he come to America? He's too good for America. So it's like, dude, we just want to see the fight. It doesn't really matter where the fight is, you know. Um, but the reasoning for Joshua not wanting to fight in America, but then, you want the fight that bad. If you want the fight really that bad, you would take the fight in America. But then you could say the same for Wilder. Wilder's the lesser known out of the two. He has one belt out of the four belts, okay? So, you know, why isn't he willing to travel to the UK if he has the money? Because they're saying, hey, I got $50 million with $50 million of the percentage. Why not? If you feel that you're going to win, go over there and knock him out. I mean, Tyson Fury did that when he went to Germany. See, people forget Tyson Fury was the lesser known. He was the B side of that equation. He went to Germany to fight Klitschko. That wasn't the other way around. Klitschko didn't have to go to England to fight, Fury. Fury went over there, beat the champ, took all the belts. You know what I'm saying? And then that was that. It's just this back and forth. So that could give you a better example on how Deontay Wilder, okay, you got the money, cool. So there's no, there, you see, because here's the deal. You see on certain channels, and if you look at certain channels, certain people are not, or they pretend to be biased, or they pretend to be non-biased, but in actuality they are. You look at both sides and you kind of add things up. You know, Deontay Wilder wanted to compensate Joshua because of what Joshua said. So that was Wilder's attempt to make the fight. You know what I mean? But you shit it all down the toilet when you say, hey, I'm going to give you the $50 million. We can fight tomorrow. But then all of a sudden it's about a venue. You know what I mean? Screw the no contract clause. That doesn't matter anyway, because whoever wins the fight wins the fight. That's not really the concern. The concern is getting them initially in the ring, right? So if you got $50 million, what difference does it take? What does it make if, well, we're putting up the money, so I feel that we should dictate it? That's business bullshit. That's like arguing and, a bunch of squabbling over who should do what. And at the same time, you're like, okay, these motherfuckers are still not fighting. You guys are not fighting yet. So no one has set a date or a venue, on how this fight and why this fight shouldn't happen. You know what I mean? And because you're looking at it, you still got tension from both sides. You know what I mean? So both guys put their foot in their mouth. So you can't just say, oh, well, Joshua. No, Joshua said, hey, you give me $50 million, we'll fight tomorrow. Now, he did not say anything about where you will fight. He said, we'll fight tomorrow, right? And then if Deontay Wilder was like, cool, I want to fight you. Let me get my people over here, give you the $50 million, so let's fight. This is what you said. Boom. That's where it's at, right? Now Josh was like, well, no, I mean, the devil's in the details. We want to have a venue. I mean, we're the A side, and then all of a sudden it's a wash because, okay, since you're the A side, you dictate that choice. Okay. Well, in that case, something as far as a venue, dude, it's a venue. Who cares where you fight? You know what I mean? All Deontay Wilder had to do was, because I think this is more of a attempt. People need to swallow their pride, both fighters. You know what I mean? More so Wilder than Joshua, because sad to say, he's the B side. Because somebody got to be the B side, right? But he's the B side. It is what it is. So he needs to swallow his pride and take that fight in the UK. Look for the example that Tyson Fury did beating Klitschko when he went to Germany to fight Klitschko, because Klitschko was the A side. Okay, so that's basically what it is. You give no reason for excuses. You can't say, "Oh no, we ain't doing that," because that's you not swallowing your pride. Stop swallowing your pride and take the fight. Just take the fight. You know what I mean? And that'll be it. It'll be done. You know what I mean? And then, only then, if you have gave up all concessions, you have done and agreed to what you need to agree for, that's the sign that you have no resistance in your camp or in your favor and with your handlers. You guys want that fight. You know what I mean? So that's where it's at. If Anthony Joshua decides, I hope he's going to make, because fighting somebody like Povetkin is kind of dangerous anyway. You know what I mean? Because, and then especially when negotiations that are in the back stages, and people say what they want. Boxers say what they want. They say the right things to say. It sounds good. Meaning, oh, well, I'm not focused on Wilder if Povetkin's in front of me. That's bullshit. Yeah, you are. You are focused on Wilder because if Povetkin knocks you out, that fight goes away. Then Wilder now has to fight Povetkin, the same guy that tested dirty a couple times, right? And guess what? Wilder was going to go over there into Russia to fight Povetkin. Now you see what I'm talking about. That's why it's all bullshit. Because it's like you were going to go to fight Povetkin in Russia, where Povetkin's from. If he's not from Russia, forgive me. But you were going to go to his hometown to fight him, right? And that didn't happen because he tested dirty again. All right. Well, Now you don't want to go to the UK when you have the money that Anthony Joshua demanded, right? Just go over there and fight him. What's the problem? See, that's why I look at it, I'm like, okay, both of you guys need to swallow your pride. So this is what it's all come down to. You got two guys with two different images, trying to do two different things, and they need to get together to do the same thing. Yeah, I will get flack from each side. It doesn't really matter. That's how it is. That is the total definition of unbiased. That's the channel that you're watching right now. This is how it is. And now you guys been counterpunched. Please leave your comments below like I know you're going to do. And please subscribe. Peace.